All right, welcome back, brothers and sisters. We are in the new studio. So, as you guys get in here, let me know if you've got audio, you've got video. Make sure everything is kosher, everything is good. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And again, bear with me while I get you guys in here. I'm getting used to the new studio, the audio, the video, all the different pieces. I've got two screens now instead of one to further enhance the experience. So, as you guys get in here, make sure you leave a comment right over there. Hit me on audio, on video, and everything is good. How's it sound? How's it look? All those pieces. And we're going to get into it. Excellent. You guys are showing up. 5x5. Excellent. Is the audio specifically okay, guys? I want to make sure that there's not anything going on weird on your end. And then we will talk about video. We're good. Lima Charlie. Okay, excellent. Nice new setup. Thank you. Thank you. Sounds good. Awesome. Okay, and is video coming through okay? It should be coming through strong. It is on my end. I just want to make sure that everything's good. Awesome. Excellent. All right, guys. So as you guys get in here, please do me a favor on this one. Watch this whole video, because what I'm about to show you is everything that is behind the scenes of what's going on tomorrow in the No Kings rally. And you guys, please stay clear of this one. Okay. The things that I'm about to show you are all sorts of bad actors, are all sorts of dark money. Taxpayer money has been put into this. I've already shown you the communist connections, but now I'm going to show you the money connections. Guys, you throw on top an Israel strike on Iran with a porous southern border over the last, 10 to 15 years, particularly increasing over the last 4. Guys, just do me a favor and a solid. Stay clear on this one, because in my gut, I do not have a good feeling, particularly when I show you what I'm about to show you. So everything is good. Let's get into it. I cannot wait to hear y'all's thoughts on this one. All right. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to show you all the receipts that I've got for you. Make sure you follow me on X at Braden LOA, especially in light of tomorrow, because I'm going to be live posting everything that I run across to keep you guys in the know. If anything pops off, you will know. Okay. All right. It's on X at Braden LOA. So here's the rally in question, the peaceful protest rallies. Okay. This is No Kings. You're going to see this a lot tomorrow. You've seen a lot of this going into it in the previous days. However, there's some things that you need to be fully aware of as we go into this, because it is really concerning, all the stuff that we're talking about, okay? The first thing that I want to draw your attention to is the ACLU connection. I touched on this in another video, but it's important for this one. The ACLU is training people on how to know their rights, and it's circulating all around the internet on underground networks and stuff of what to do when you're protesting. So the ACLU is fully involved, and everything will be linked in the description box below for this video. Know Your Rights training. Get ready for June 14th. That is tomorrow. Okay? Again, when you layer everything over what I'm about to show you, guys, this has my gut screaming. Okay? Now, as we continue, I want to take you to Representative Anna Paulina Luna. I told you in a video yesterday morning that there are communist and very dark antagonistic groups that are associated with this, and the Democrats are fully embracing this. This guy, Neville Singham, is the man funding these riots. It's not about illegal Hispanics, she says. They're just using them for propaganda. They're actual communist. Thank you, Data Republican, for the deep dive. And I'm going to cite Data Republican in a second. So, guys, when you're looking at what we're about to show you, you have to understand how serious this is, because it's not just Representative Anna Paulina Luna. The Oversight Committee in the Republicans is specifically investigating Neville Singham, and they've opened up a letter of investigation right there. So there's clearly something that has piqued their interest to the point where these rallies that are happening tomorrow nationwide, and I've shown you like 2,500 different rallies. Yeah, that can't happen without money, funding, and training. Okay? So as we continue, let me show you where the money comes from, and then we'll get into the actual data that's starting to come out on the street reporting, all right? So as you can see, this is from Data Republican. It's on the screen. Everything is linked. If you're just now getting in, guys, this is the darkness behind the clouds that you're seeing on the horizon, okay? So just released, follow the money behind the No Kings rally. Linked if you want to dive in deeper, but I'm going to show you what's happening here from a taxpayer fund perspective, okay? All right, we're good on audio, video, everything good. You can see right here, in clear as crystal, National Democratic Institute, that's high taxpayer funds. National Endowment for Democracy, high taxpayer funds. American Center for International Taxpayer Funds, World Wildlife Fund. And again, these are all in the 400 million range numbers. 74 million, 23 billion, 171 million, 363 billion. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles. Look where that money goes. Chinese Progressive Association. What's the other one? Amalgamated Charitable Foundation Incorporated. If that word amalgamated sounds familiar, Amalgamated was the Amalgamated Bank where they were trying to track all of your purchases and put a purchase code on you. That one right down there in the very bottom where it says Tide Center. Yeah, that's George Soros right down there in high taxpayer funds. So all of this money is funneling through all of these NGOs, which are related back to the ACLU of Texas. Look, the ACLU Foundation of Texas Incorporated. See the federal grant flow. That's where it's all coming from. So all of those taxpayer funds and those non-government organizations are funding and funneling into this exact same stuff where you see the ACLU training people for protest. This is why this is so important. There's some very dark stuff that is happening behind the scenes, and I do not like the idea of all of us gathering in an area when you've got all the things that are going on. All right. I showed you the Data Republican thing. Now let me go to another source. This is something I showed you. I bring this up because Chinese billionaire funding LA riots, Neville Singham's PSL connection. PSL, incredibly important for you guys to be aware of. Again, I'm trying to do this quickly so we get through this. That stands for the Party of Socialism and Liberation. They organized the anti-ICE protest earlier this week. They were involved in it along with Chira, that organization I told you. That's going to come up here in a second. The same network funded pro-Palestinian campus protest in, I can't remember the actual campuses, but those colleges and universities, they funded them. Again, this is really important. PSL is the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Again, Neville Singham. If you go to Spokane, Washington, this just happened recently, and I'm going to turn this up for you guys, and I'm going to show you what's happening, but listen to the actual topic. Sources on the ground say the group is made up of members of Antifa and the Party for Socialism and Liberation, a far-left Marxist group. I'm trying to weave all this stuff together because this is the way that the thread follows, okay? So PSL, they were involved in that. Let me take you to the next one. This is somebody who was on the streets during the LA ICE riots, and listen to what he says specifically about who the enemy is, and to keep in mind the PSL connection. I'm going to turn myself off here and make sure you guys can hear me. Listen to this.
Wherever you're at, we all have a common enemy. It is the same one. Everywhere you go, when you go down the street, there's the enemy. There's the enemy that works for the other enemy, who they all work under. So we all share the same common enemy. Everybody has the same enemy. From LA to Africa to Palestine to Vietnam. We all have the same enemy. That's one enemy. And it is not me. And it is not you. And it is not them. We are not the enemies of each other. They are the enemy. There is only one enemy, and we all have to work together in unison to fight this one enemy.
That's right. Capitalism,
the faster we learn
imperialism,
that, the more we can grow as a people, and the quicker we can get to this revolution and overturn this motherfucker and have real people leading this country.
That's right. That's right.
That's what we...
All right, did you hear some of the words that the woman behind the camera said while he was ranting about the real people and destroying and bringing about revolution? Again, the PSL right there. So when you may not have heard what she said behind the camera, but she said getting rid of capitalism, getting rid of the Zionist, all of these things that she's saying behind that camera, guys, it's going to culminate tomorrow in a national protest in like 2,200 locations. Again, all funded by our taxpayer dollars, a Chinese billionaire, and some very dark stuff. And you're looking at the actual oversight committee of the Republicans sending out letters, and they know it's happening. Guys, I'm telling you, my gut is screaming on some stuff. But let me show you some other things. This is somebody that I didn't think I'd ever agree with. Chris Cuomo, of all frickin' people. Okay, so listen to this, and then we're going to bounce into this. Hold on, I got to read this. Dragon Rider says, so you don't want us standing up for the USA tomorrow? I always stand up for the USA. What I'm trying to show you is the things that are happening that you may not be aware of. Of course I'll tell you to defend yourselves. It's your right. Of course I'll tell you to defend the United States. Of course I'll tell you that we defend this country. But what I'm telling you right now is this is going to be a powder keg that you may not want to be right at. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so let's keep on going. I want to show you what Chris Cuomo just said because it sounds a lot like what I just delivered to you. I'm going to interrupt this as it goes. But when even Chris Cuomo is figuring something else out, guys, I'm just saying.
These protests are fed by dark sources with a desire for our destruction. One of the main players in organizing and funding the Los Angeles protests is a group called CHIRLA, CHIRLA, acronym, Coalition for Humane Immigration Rights. They have received millions in government grants and state grants, but now reports are showing that there may be a foreign link, specifically from China, funding and organizing these protests. The pro-Chinese far-left Party for Socialism and Liberation.
I'm going to pause that for a second. That's exactly what we talked about on our videos over the last 2.5 days. Guys, the Chirala connection. You've got the PSL, which he just hit on, Chinese dark money and millions in taxpayer funding. I'm telling you, something's up and it's bigger than a normal scenario. That's where I'm going with this. Okay, and I'll get to your comments here in 1 second. I'm just trying to bring you all the information that I can quickly. Let's get back to them.
They're known as the PSL. They are working with Chirla, helping fund the protests in Los Angeles and maybe elsewhere. Remember, all the parties in China are controlled by the CCP. So this is China. And the party is pushing to destroy capitalism and the West. This is its agenda. This is what China wants. They even have a term for the effort. It's called the smokeless war, where they have this theory of how they'll destroy the West without actually taking to the battlefield. That's what they did during the anti-Israel campus protests. The PSL worked hand in glove with anti-Zionist student groups and helped organize and fund the Columbia campus encampments. Now it gets scarier.
Again, that's confirming everything that I just showed you across multiple reports and the Republicans who are opening up oversight committee issues and letters and demanding for subpoenas. Guys, there's some serious stuff going on here, and that's why I'm bringing you this information. You make your own decisions. But the media is looking and begging for something to focus on other than the stupidity of the rioters who are burning everything down. Don't give them that excuse, is my point. And everybody's saying this. Representative Paulina Luna has multiple occasions said, do not go to these things. Okay? Let him keep going. But again, the PSL connection, guys, these are not your run-of-the-mill, dumb, I'm just going to go be upset and protest with a sign that I don't understand. These are very, very intentional groups. Okay, let's keep going.
Where does the PSL get its money? Enter Shanghai-based socialist billionaire Neville Singham. 2017, he sold his tech company for about $1 billion. Reports show the same year he started funding far-left groups like the PSL to the tune of millions. Singham is not America's friend. He has deep business ties to the CCP, but also has strong ideological ties to communism, period. People who worked for him says he's an admirer of Mao, Che Guevara, Hugo Chavez, not friends of American culture.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that real quick. This is the exact same stuff that I showed you a couple days ago. The reason we're veering off into this is because this directly goes into the fight for our rights of all of our rights, including the Second Amendment rights. Because if something pops off, these people are looking for a reaction to their catalyst. That's the problem. PSL, Sharala, the anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles. Guys, all of this is connected with Chinese money, with taxpayer funds, with very communist organizations like No Kings itself, which is run by two communists. Guys, these are not your run-of-the-mill, I'm angry and pissed off, so I'm going to wear a vagina hat on my head. This is, I've got my little red book, Che Guevara kind of level stuff. This is serious stuff. That's why I'm covering it. All right, let's keep going.
According to the New York Times, Singham has funded and developed a deep global empire of pro-China nonprofits in the media and grassroots political space, steering millions into these groups over the years, including the PSL. And guess who was associated with the PSL and other Singham-funded groups? Elias Rodriguez. Ring a bell? This scumbag, the 30-year-old Chicago man who murdered 2 Israeli staffers in cold blood last month to make a political point.
All right. That last tie-in is something I'm not going to go into because it doesn't speak to the whole point. It just speaks to the idea that there's a lot of bad people involved in this. Here's the reason that I'm covering this. I don't want any of the patriots in this country who would stand up for our country to be in a position where they are either A, hurt, or B, they were put in a position where they are now the media frame. Think Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay? That's the idea. It all became how evil the Second Amendment was in his defense versus what was actually going on, which is what cities were burning down around. Okay? The people that we are dealing with here are not your run-of-the-mill angry Democrats. These are activated, these are communist ties, and these are far-left Marxist groups. They are going to be active tomorrow, along with Antifa. They are going to be looking for the opportunity, and don't give it to them. I don't want any bad things to happen to any of you guys. That's why I'm doing this content. But I hope that you guys are going to take this for what it is, as you guys need to be aware of this information, make your own decisions. More importantly, stay safe, keep your head on a swivel, and don't put yourself in a situation that is going to be a bad one, regardless of how your feelings are. That's the big thing. I hope you guys send this out. Please spread this stuff out because I think it's really important. And let me know what you think in the comments below of the new studio and the content. And I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.